I'm Nik Miles and we are at Dick Hanna Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Vancouver to take a look at this, the 2021 Dodge Durango GT. This is a no-compromise three-row SUV. For 2021, it gets an aggressive new exterior styling. It gets an aggressive new interior styling, which is oriented towards the driver. It gets a new infotainment system, and this vehicle will go on the road. We'll show you how it drives. We'll talk about the exterior and we'll show you the interior, and you can find out for yourself what's new with this 2021 Durango. So this is what I would call the perfect no compromise SUV. The Durango three-row. The GT comes with that 6-cylinder Pentastar engine. And the great thing about this engine is it gives you the power that you need. At the same time, it also gives you good fuel economy. And I get around 18 miles a gallon in the city. It gives you just short of 300 horsepower. And it's an award-winning engine from the Dodge Group. It just does very, very well. And there's, of course, lots of different flavors of Durango that you can get. If you need to step up and get towing, or you need to get a bigger or more performance-oriented engine, there of course is lots of different Durangos out there. It's always given a very sporty, firm ride, but comfortable. Everybody in every row gets a comfort ride. And then if you need to pull away from a light and just get a little faster than everybody else, you can flip the transmission, the 8-speed transmission, into that manual mode and use the paddle shifters off the steering wheel. So it does give you a sporty reaction. The vehicle's fairly wide, it's well planted, and it's good to drive on canyon roads. It's not an amazing canyon carver, but it is a sporty drive. Remember, this comes from the Dodge family. This is the if you know, you know vehicle. And if you want to do a little bit of spirited driving, it's well planted, it's easy to steer, well balanced, and just a good all-round SUV. You can step up and get a performance version of this, and some people even take them out on the racetrack. But this is the version that I would use for my family to go on vacation, to do the road trips, to take everybody to and from their daily activities. It's absolutely the perfect daily driver as well. Everything is well put together in this vehicle, as well as being comfortable. For 2021, they did some reconfigurations on the interior to give more space, to actually get more out of the interior and repackage the interior slightly. So things are now more driver oriented, with some new designs on the inside and a freshening up of the driver space on the interior. The materials are nicely put together. There is double stitching, there is nicely laid out materials. The door panels are new in some of the grades. Everything sort of from the hips upwards is new. This is nicely put together though. The version that we're driving has a mixture of black leather, black, piano black. It has that sort of mixture of materials while fashionably nicely put together. And there are lots of smooth lines, nice lines around the gauges behind the steering wheel, nice lines around the infotainment and air ducts, nice lines all the way through the passenger side of the vehicle, even the door layout with the door handles and the memory seats and all of the window buttons are just nicely put together and laid out to be muscular, to be very meaningful, but at the same time artistic. They're not flimsy, they're not haphazard, they're actually meaningful in the way everything is laid out. Let's talk a little bit about the infotainment system on the inside here, because that's a big deal for 2021. Dodge have moved to the Uconnect 5 system. Now this has the option of a 10.1 inch screen. The Uconnect 5 system is hugely important because it is monumentally faster than many of the systems out there today. Here's the most important thing about this system. It is the ultimate best system that I have tried out of every single brand out there, and there is 4 or 5 reasons for that, and I'll name just a couple of them for you. First of all, even though you have a really fast, clean, high graphic, great color screen, they have thought about user interface with this infotainment screen, and across the bottom all of the major buttons always exist. So you will always have home, media, comfort, navigation, phone, vehicle, and apps. And you can scroll through this with your finger. You can always find everything that you need at the bottom. And there is programmable options in here. You have the choice of a touch screen, a non-touch screen, and then you can have the standard 8-inch that comes with the vehicle as well if you don't want the high-end touch screen or the larger screen on the inside of the vehicle. Uconnect is so advanced and so well put together. I just haven't found an infotainment system that is better, coupled with the simple to use. There are a lot more advanced infotainment systems, but most people, in my experience, have trouble using them because they get technology overload. Think about having to learn an entire new system when you get into a vehicle. This is simple to use, yet has the depth of information, the depth of possibilities that you actually need. You get your Apple CarPlay, you get your Android Auto, you get your Sirius XM satellite radio, you get all of those things that you're looking for on the inside of these vehicles. Plus it comes with wireless charging, as well as the standard TomTom navigation system, and you'll also get wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. So it does have the breadth of everything that you might need, and if you want to use your cell phone instead of the built-in car system, you have the option of doing that as well. For 2021, the Durango exterior gets a lot more sinister. You can see it gets squared off and a lot more modern and aggressive looking. The lights get thinner, the daytime running lights move to the top of the light, and the hood gets a lot squarer. This actually now mimics the Charger wide body a lot. Now this vehicle also gets a lower air intake at the bottom, so you can see it needs to take a lot of air in. That's to show off that this vehicle has a big engine and it might need cooling a lot if you decide to drive aggressively. If you move down the side, the wheels, well, there's a lot of choices for the wheels of the new Durango, and Dodge wanted to make sure that you had a choice of how it looks from the side. The other thing they do, which is really great, many Dodge owners like to hand wash their cars over the weekend, so they wanted to make sure that every wheel choice you can actually get your hand inside the wheels. The designers wanted to make sure that they're not so small that you're not able to actually get the cloth in here and clean them. So they made the openings of the wheels so big that you could always hand wash these vehicles and take care of them yourself. The monochromatic door handles all the way down the side. Big, large vehicle, and you get to the back. This is a Durango. You can see it is nice aero spoiler on top, and let's take a look on the inside. Now, with the third row up, you actually get 17 cubic feet behind that third row. If you put it down, it jumps to 43, and put the second and third row down, you actually get 85 cubic feet of space. And that's a huge amount to haul all of your family's stuff around if you need it. Now you have the choice of captain's chairs or a bench in the back of the Durango. This has captain's chairs in the second row, 38 inches of legroom, which is plenty for me, 33 in the back. In the second row, you get USBs. There's 2 of them here. There is heated second row seats. There is also a 115 volt AC outlet. And of course, you get controls of your HVACs up here in the roof. You get your own light, you get your own vents, and your own window controls as well in the back. So there's lots of room, lots of control for everybody who wants to ride in the second, and some space in the third row as well. It's not hard to be impressed by the 2021 Dodge Durango. If you'd like to test drive one and find out if it fits your family, come down to Dick Hanna Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Vancouver, and they'd be very happy to put one on your driveway.